What is up, cozy gamers? I'm EJ, you are you, and this is my channel where today we're diving into Steam Next Fest. For those not in the know, Steam Next Fest is a biannual, let me double check that actually. It is a triannual festival taking place on Steam, showcasing a bunch of upcoming games demos. Now, I have played a bunch of demos, and I have selected 11 of the coziest, cutest, and funnest to share with you all today. Now, I do not consider myself really a cozy gamer, but I'm cozy adjacent, so I think I have a thing or two to say about the next big cozy games. So let's stop mucking about and get into the list. To start off, you want puzzles, you want charm, you want public transportation, then Is This Seat Taken has you covered on all counts. This game is the cutest little logic puzzle you ever darn saw. The general gist is that you are arranging these little shapes in their seats to satisfy everyone's requirements. It starts pretty simple. This oval dude wants to sit by the window, plop him over, and boom. Now this rhombus actor wants to sit by their cool triangle movie writer friend who wants to sit by a window. Well, boom, boom, pow, let's go. Later, in an ode to the efficiency of public transit, the vehicles become more complicated with more people riding them, meaning more competing priorities. This person forgot to shower, which is gross, and this guy doesn't want to be near strong smells, so we're going to keep them separate. But this person wants to sit near the window, and this person wants to sit all by themselves, and you can see how things get a little more complicated as it goes along. The game continues to iterate on this core mechanic, developing it naturally and introducing new wrinkles at truly just the right amount of time to ramp up the difficulty. Even in this demo, when I got to some of the later puzzles, I found myself getting stumped a couple times. Come to Is This Seat Taken for the logic puzzles, stay for the charm, and surprise character through lines, okay? There's subplots going on. It's not just shapes. I mean, it is just shapes, but they have personalities. Now, I was thinking, coming into Next Fest, you know what I need? Another farm sim. Have no fear, Doloc Town is here with yet another twist on the farm sim formula. So let's check it out.
As the war that ravaged the world finally begins to fade, all that's left are scorched lands, acid rain, and the weary souls of its survivors.
Okay, yeah, so this is the world of Doloc Town. I said that these games were cozy, and they are, I swear. Post-world-ravaging war, you return to Doloc Town in order to uncover its secrets. Once you arrive, you get set up with, what do you know, a farm. Yada yada yada, go talk to the mayor, here's some seeds, yada yada. Now, since it's a 2D side-scroller, the farming mechanic in this game is different than usual. You can only plant in these fun planters, and to expand your farm, you have to construct wooden platforms to build upwards. This offers a fun twist, but right off the bat, I thought that my farm was pretty small for the amount of crops that I usually like to grow, but I'm sure that the devs have a lot of things up their sleeve in terms of growing efficiency for this farm. Now, if you know anything about me, the aesthetics were obviously a big selling point for me, and I loved the world design. Everything felt so haphazardly thrown together from junk everyone found. I mean, the apocalypse is just so chic. But what also excited me from the Steam page was the movement controls, double jumping, wall jumping, etc. In the game description, it seems like the 2D platforming in combat is gonna be an emphasis in the game, but I will say in the 50 minutes that I sank into the demo, I didn't really get into much of that, but maybe I just had to play a little bit longer to hit it. I mean, it is no secret that in addition to we, I would say, have been farm simmed out in recent years. This game, though, seems like a promising twist on the genre with an intriguing world, characters, and story potential. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. Now, after all of that apocalypse, I think we need something light and fun. So how about a frog strategy game? In Bonnie Bear Saves Frogtime, you play as Bonnie, a depressed bear wearing a frog costume, who gets gifted so that she can play Frogtime, a game about getting your frogs to the other side of the board to take out your opponent's health. And now you might think, oh, that sounds easy. But let me tell you, I got beat by the NPCs multiple times. Some of it is honestly down to luck, but there is a fair amount of strategy required to win, which I really appreciated. But on top of that, this game is just so funny. As far as I can tell, the voiceover was basically done by like two people. One person voiced Bonnie and then the other person voiced everyone else. And they kept in these moments where the voice actor messed up on lines, which just adds to the charm.
We're practicing it. We're practicing a new song.
Beyond that, the writing is just downright hilarious and truly had me laughing out loud multiple times. I was constantly just charmed and shocked by the writing. Now, this story, while silly for sure, I mean, it's about frogs, had so much heart to it, okay? At the end of the day, this game is still about a depressed bear. And they did a great job, even in the demo, of exploring what that means while not being super heavy-handed about it, you know? I truly cannot wait for the full game of this to come out, and I highly encourage you to play this demo. Now, longtime fans of the channel will know that if there's one thing I love more than frogs in a game, it is fishing. I've even gone so far as to say every good game has fishing. But a much less celebrated but very important minigame is bug catching, and Kabuto Park is here to give it its flowers. Probably for the bees, because they like pollen. Now, this is a video game, okay? The game loop is very straightforward. You catch bugs using a pretty simple and intuitive mechanic. Then you can sell those bugs to get candy, which you use to level up your bugs to prepare you for the bug battles. In these, you have teams of 3 bugs facing off against each other, trying to push the other one off of a platform. Each of your bugs also gives you 3 cards that you can use to give your team an extra push, and when you finally defeat the rival bugs, you're rewarded with money that you can then use to upgrade your gear and unlock new areas to get even more bugs. You see how it all just feeds into itself, honestly. I mean, beautiful. But frankly, I'm not surprised by this, because this game was made by one half of the duo behind Minami Lane. So you know that it is going to be perfectly simple, charming, and adorable. The art style itself, from the cute bugs and characters to the environments and UI, everything is just infused with charm, you know? And one thing I really liked was that there was really minimal explanation. The only real mechanic that I had to read text to understand was the battle mechanic, and the game otherwise trusts the players to be able to intuit how to catch bugs, and honestly, I had very little trouble with figuring that out. So if you want a sweet little snack of a demo, I highly encourage you to check out Kabuto Park. If you thought we were done with farm sims though, you're in for a nasty surprise, because Tales of Seikyu is another farm sim vying for your attention in 2025. This one, though, promises a gorgeous 3D open world experience. Now, full disclosure, I was fortunate enough to be given an early copy of the demo to try out, but there was no money exchanged, so I just want to disclose these things, be upfront, etc. In the game, you play as one of 2 yokai, which are animals from Japanese mythology that can transform into humanoids. You arrive in Seikyu to discover the mystery of what happened to your parents and are introduced to a gorgeous town, if a little sparsely populated town, but it is a demo. Beyond the town is an overworld field area filled with little bokoblin-looking guys to defeat, and some other surprise beasts as well. Oh, no. Bye. And back on your truly idyllic farm, you can transform into a boar to help tend the land. The animal transformation thing is a very intriguing concept, and the demo does tease being able to transform into different animals, which I'm sure is going to unlock new mechanics, new concepts, yada yada. If you were looking for a farm sim that doesn't look like most other farm sims, this is definitely one to check out, but I do have to warn you that this game is massive. It is 8 gigabytes for the demo, and holy crap it shows, because it's laggy. It's laggy, I'm not gonna lie. There's also a couple weird errors and glitches, though to be fair, this could just be because I got a press preview, but I just want y'all to be aware before you dive in, But in addition to farm sims as a recent trend, I think there has been an uptick in shop sims recently, from grocery store simulator to TCG shop to TCG card shop simulator. I mean, that's a trend, right? So Bookbound appealed to me as a cute pixel version of these games. It's pretty straightforward. You show up to your shop and you're greeted by a flying book, naturally, who shows you the ropes of setting up the store with shelves, stocking the shelves with books, and selling those books to customers. Every time you make a sale, you get to play a make change minigame, which I will say is the best part of working a register, having worked many a register in my day. And throughout the day, you'll go outside in order to attract people in with a megaphone minigame that can get very hectic at times. Oh no! Okay. In the store, you'll have to pick up after guests who just shed litter randomly or just drop books on the floor because we're all raised in a barn, I guess. And at the end of every day, you unlock one new book for free and can pay money to unlock more if you want. Then you restock, you adjust your layout, and you do it all again. I will say I was pleasantly surprised at how engaging this game was to me. I mean, I had a lot of fun just, figuring out the best layout and organization of my bookshelves, and I grew attached to the books and their authors. I was rooting for the books that didn't get a lot of sales.
Oh my god, I'm like so happy for this author.
And after a while, I got to know the book so well that when customers would ask me like where a certain book was, I just automatically knew and could show it to them. Now, I don't know if I found this engaging just because I actually haven't played any of the other shop simulators. Who knows? This could just be how fun shop simulators are, but it just had such a quick and simple loop, and I was really easily drawn into it. I mean, I actually had to force myself to stop playing so that I could play other demos, so I definitely have to give this one a stamp of approval. Now, keeping the run in a store ball rolling, we got Wyrmhall, Brush and Banter. In this game, you are a dry, sarcastic goblin who takes over a relic cleaning stall. Your job is to clean relics, and in the demo, you only have 3 tools, so for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. But there were spots for other tools, so, get excited for that. And, that's really it. Yeah, you clean the artifacts. But I think where Wyrmhall really shines is in the characters and their interactions with our protagonist. I mean, I just found the little scenes in between cleaning to be super funny, and it's just really delightful to see these very self-serious fantasy adventurers that, we kind of like know. You're like, oh, I know what kind of character you are, right? And they have to come up against this goblin who could really give 2 schnarkies about their quest. That was a weird censor. Additionally, this demo did something that I kind of have never seen or have yet to see truly, where it went the extra step to provide an in-universe reason for how the demo is happening with like a framing narrative. I mean, if that is the level of ingenuity that this team is going to put into the rest of the game, then I can just tell y'all this is going to be a good one. Now, if you thought the farm sims were over, gotcha, okay? Because next up we got Cattle Country. We're returning to our 2D pixel art roots where you move to a town to escape the city and connect with the townsfolk. But this time it's Western. Upfront disclosure though, I did get a key to this early. They didn't give me money, but I just want you to know, yada yada. Okay, now y'all, we are dealing with pretty standard farm sim fare here, okay? You move to the town, you're greeted by the mayor who brings you to your farm, shows you the ropes and sets you on your way to go meet the townsfolk. You got a carpenter, you got a blacksmith, you got an animal person eventually. I'm sure I didn't meet them, but But I will say from a demo perspective, I appreciated some of the quality of life stuff that the game gave you right off the bat. When you move in, the mayor actually already set up a crafting table, some furnaces, and planted some crops for you, in addition to filling 2 chests with furniture and fences so you can get decorating right off the bat. Of course, I've never cared about decorating, so I didn't do that, but it's there. And instead, I spent my time setting up a little farming plot and getting to know the 5 characters that the game let me see a cute little cutscene with. I also went and explored the mines, and I love a mine in a farm sim. This mine was a fun kind of 2D platforming style portion. It kind of reminded me of Spelunky, I enjoyed the mines. They weren't like super special, but they were fine, even though I truly have no idea how I passed out on the first day. Like, how did this happen? Guys, what's going on? Of the farm sim demos that I checked out, this was definitely the most traditional, but it hinted at some hunting and ranching mechanics that I was eager to explore, but weren't included in the demo as far as I could tell. This is still a solid farming demo with a lot of stuff given to you to really explore the game, so y'all should check this one out for sure. Because there's truly never enough cuteness and coziness in our life, Here's another cutie. We got Biped 2. This is a platformer that is intended to be co-op, but if you don't have friends to play games with like me, it can be played solo. In it, you play as a cute little robot with 2 cute little legs, each one of which is controlled by one of your joysticks. Now, if that sounds hard to control, that's because it is. I'm not going to say that it is QWOP levels of difficulty, but it certainly takes some getting used to. Right off the bat, you are tasked with traversing some tricky levels to make it to one of the 15 beacons that you have to restore to save Earth or something. I didn't totally understand what was going on in the opening cutscene, but I liked it. It was fun. These levels are classic 3D platforming levels. There's a bunch of coins and bonus tokens to collect alongside some extra challenges should you choose to take them on. But even getting through the basic levels I found was pretty difficult, especially when I got to this falling platform thing, which actually made me rage quit a level in a demo. So luckily for me, not every level seems to be this difficult, and it was the right amount of challenging to still be fun. I think if I gave myself more of an opportunity to get comfortable with the mechanic, I probably would have been able to really get into it, get into the groove of it, and not like rage quit. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying it on the full release. But as demos go, this is a pretty dense one that you could easily sink a few hours into if you wanted. So I encourage you to check out Biped 2. By the way, it's a sequel too. Isn't that fun? Now, it is a well-known fact that every good cozy game has frogs, but Mudborne is a game that dares to ask, what if the cozy game was frogs? You know? Mudborne is an atmospheric pixel game about breeding frogs to save the frog world or something. The lore is unclear to me at this point, but what is clear is that this game was truly a sleeper hit for me. It was a game that I started out playing and I was like, I don't know. But then all of a sudden it was 50 minutes later and I was like, okay, I liked that. You start out being awoken by a big like frog god thing, and you are tasked with breeding frogs. This kicks off a long tutorial where you get a bunch of mechanics and tools and machines and collectibles thrown at you. And I will say I caught on pretty quickly that that's what I was in for. So I do think I was able to just kind of go along with it. And I'm glad that I did, because the game itself is just super chill. It has like a very chill pace. You just kind of like mosey around doing your little tasks. It has gorgeous ambient music, and it's really just a generally peaceful time hanging out in the marsh with some frogs. As you breed new types of frogs, they each have different effects based on the mushrooms that you feed them. It makes sense, don't worry. And these different effects will allow you to affect the environment around you, to accomplish tasks. It's a whole thing, you know? Exploration is a big part of this game, and exploring the map, I can tell, is gonna be a huge part of progressing in this game. And I'm very excited for it because I loved the world. It was a very interesting and like intriguing, lore-filled world, which I'm excited for. I'm really looking forward to the full release because I honestly just want to try and, get new frogs and experiment and stuff. Oh my god, wow, it's me, definitely on the same day. What are you talking about? Anyways, the last demo of my little roundup is Whisper of the House, a delightful little isometric pixel art treat. In this game, your task is to unpack folks' belongings and fit everything together in a pixel art house. So yeah, okay, it's very reminiscent of unpacking, but let's be real. Are we mad at that? Do we not need more unpacking? I think we do. And besides that, Whisper of the Heart sets itself apart from its inspiration by having you unpack other people's things, a task that is a fun little voyeuristic peek into your neighbors' lives. There's still plenty of charming moments, heartwarming moments, and even sci-fi moments, with the introduction of a time machine that allows you to replay levels you've already completed, but also, in a particularly inspired plotline, it allows you to go back in time to save the scientist's grandfather from an untimely, unpacking exhaustion-caused demise. Ultimately, Whisper of the House was a very chill, cozy demo, and when it ended, I was almost upset because I wanted to keep playing. So I definitely encourage y'all to check it out if you liked unpacking, or just, if you have type A tendencies and a heart. Now, here's the thing. I didn't just play 11 demos this next fest. I actually played a few more, but they weren't really a match for me. However, if there's one thing that I've learned from this channel, it is that y'all and I don't necessarily always have the same tastes. So I'm going to share some of the games that didn't quite strike a chord with me in hopes that you will get inspired. Check them out and maybe they'll strike a chord with you and you'll have a new favorite. Locomoto, an errand sim a la Mail Time where you get to like pilot or drive or whatever you call conducting. You get to conduct a train. You can customize your train and decorate it, and then you get to transport animals to and from their destinations while also delivering packages for some extra coin. Grimoire Groves, a roguelike game where you, a novice witch, journey into the forest to nurture vegetable creatures for resources, and then plant seeds in a farm back home for reasons that I didn't play long enough to uncover. The aesthetic is Adventure Time meets Pikmin, which is cute, and I feel like will probably appeal to a lot of people. Travel on Pigeon, a puzzle rhythm game with groovin' music where you, a pigeon, make your way through different levels moving along to the beat. My computer had a weird input lag or like sound output lag, so it made it very difficult to play for me. I tried to fix it, but unfortunately did not work, so hopefully you have better luck than me. Lastly, Hotel Architect, a game where you run a Fisher-Price hotel, setting up the layout with a sim-style build mode, hiring staff to improve guest experiences, and just generally playing as a godlike omniscient hotel manager. And who hasn't had that dream before? So there you go. Those are the demos that I checked out that I think you should check out, and some that I didn't necessarily like, but I still think you should check out. Let me know in the comments if there's a Next Fest demo that you checked out that you really liked, or if you just, want to share a fun little thing that happened to you today. You can also post that. I don't care. I also encourage you to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be checking out even more demos on Thursday. And if it's already happened, here's the link to that stream. But either way, I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay cute, stay hydrated, stay you, and most importantly, stay demoing, Demo it up. Bust down a wall in your house. Who cares? Oh, it's load bearing? Not anymore, Don't do that, please. Okay, bye.